I'm in a whole world of my own. I called the donor team contact yesterday, asking what the next move would be, and got told we were going ahead and received some dates. We called up the donor, confirmed a date that suited us all. I then left a message with my contact, who called me back today and left a message informing me I'd been booked in for that date, with a physical happening in January. The date of my surgery, my transplant, is set 9th February 2015. When I left the message yesterday, shockingly I couldn't think of anything else and had a slightly restless night. I slept but dreamt heavily about life and worries. Woke up this morning feeling completely dazed and decided to have a haircut a week earlier than my pre-booked appointment. Got an appointment first thing this morning and set out, and it wasn't until I got home that I realised I'd subconsciously arranged the haircut as an act of preparation, very much like when I agreed to go ahead with the transplant. I spent an hour at the hairdresser's, having first warned the poor girl that I was exhausted, so it might not make much sense, and bless her, she communicated with me the best she could, then left me to read whilst she worked. I got the call whilst I was in the chair, but decided not to answer, especially whilst I was having my head work done. Once done, I left and immediately received the voicemail. It was my contact confirming I was booked in. On hearing this news, I knew I wouldn't have the energy to cook lunch, so I bought a chunky sandwich to keep me ticking over. That's when I saw my hand shaking as I passed the money across the counter. Got home, ate it along with some crisps I'd bought to increase my sodium intake, and before I knew it, I was lying back on the mattress we're using as a makeshift sofa till the new one arrives, and settling down to sleep. Utterly exhausted. Good thing I'm on the fluoxetine, because right now I feel like I should be freaking out. I'm still getting hit by the odd adrenaline moments. In fact, there are times I feel like something's gone wrong, and I get an odd metallic taste in the back of my mouth, followed by a horrible rushing feeling in my system. Then logic takes over and it passes. I'm now sat at my computer doing this because, well, it's pretty biggish news, and I've had a nap followed by a cup of tea, so I'm feeling a touch more awake, but really still not here. So yeah, I've got a date. Bring on the new year. And now something touch more unscripted. I've told a couple of people that this is happening, and there's a lot of celebration going around, a lot of positive thoughts, a lot of good vibes and stuff, and everyone's really happy for me, which I really appreciate, which I'm really happy about. And I remember when I first had the news of the donor, I actually went to an event and everybody was, congratulating me and being so ridiculously happy and stuff. And the reason that I don't seem to be as excited as other people are demonstrating is because, first of all, I'm still expecting something to go wrong. And I know I need to think positively and the like, and think optimistically. But what caused my depression was every time I thought positively, I thought something good was happening, something would come along and flip it on its back and basically create an obstacle, and I would just fall. And I'm now climbing higher and higher and higher the rungs of optimism, and the higher I climb, if something now goes wrong, the harder I will fall. So I'm protecting myself by being wary. I'm happy, but I'm also very wary. I'm also a touch scared. Ha! Understatement. I'm also terrified. I mean, this is major surgery we're talking about. I mean, this is an operation which will involve my being in intensive care for roughly a week or so, being in hospital possibly 2 weeks or so, maybe longer if the kidney doesn't take. And then I've got who knows how many months of checkups and stuff, not to mention taking drugs for the rest of my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not regretting this decision, because I don't take decisions I regret when it comes to my health. Yeah, I've done stupid things in the past. Yeah, I've done things like, why the hell did I do that? Because, you know, I'm human, but not when it comes to my health. I'm very, very careful with that. But I'm still scared. I also worry about the people involved. I worry about the donor. I worry about each of our families worrying. I worry about their worrying. I mean, that can't be helped. You get recipient guilt. It's part of the package. This person is doing something huge for you. There are going to be ripples, shockwaves, as everybody who has to look after that person or has to look after the person receiving the thing have to deal with the consequences. I also keep thinking, after we received the news of the donor, I slowly but surely allowed myself to make mental preparations regarding the actual operation. And now, bit by bit, I'm actually reaching the point where I'm thinking of all the things I need to do before I go into hospital. On top of that, I'm making mental preparations of what I need to do, what needs to be done by other people if something goes wrong. That's always a possibility. I've always been very aware of that. And if I'm completely blunt, what scares me isn't something going wrong and something happening to me. I won't be around if something happens to me. I won't be there to see the consequences if something happens to me. That's not what scares me. Of course, I don't want to cause pain to the people who care about me, the people who love me and everything, but I'm not going to be there to endure it. What terrifies me is things going wrong and me having to physically and mentally deal with more stuff going wrong, with possible rejection, with dialysis, with possible infection, things like that. This is all going round and round and round in my head. But because I'm being realistic, if I tell myself, oh, it's all going to be awesome, and then this happens, I'm not prepared for it. My counsellor, who I'm seeing tomorrow, she says to me, I need to stop thinking of what ifs, but it's my own protection barrier. If I consider the what ifs, I won't get as hurt if it does happen. Don't get me wrong, I am still enjoying life, I am still going out there and doing things and trying to be positive, and I am still laughing, I am happy, I really am. But bear in mind, today is the first day I've dealt with knowing that I have a date. Therefore, I'm in a bit of shock. So yeah. What scares me the most about this is living in a form of pain or discomfort once the procedure's been done, and causing pain for other people who have to see me in that pain. I can deal with that stuff. I can deal with pain and all that kind of thing. I've been through loads of things in my life. I've been through loads of hardship and all that balls. What worries me is causing difficulty and pain for others to see me going through that, which is one of the reasons that the depression hit me a few months back. But otherwise, it's good news. I've got the date. It's positive. I've got counselling tomorrow, so I'll be talking to my counsellor. It'll be fine.